The relatively young 3D printing sector is one of the most actively traded, but Peter, Materialise has been around since 1990, and you have three distinct segments. Let's review them, and which one is performing the best?
We have three segments. We have industrial software, medical, and industrial production. Those three sectors, all three are each very important. They each reinforce each other. The one that has received most attention by the investors recently is the first one, industrial software. Why? Because investors tend to start realizing, and also the industry, that if this industry is going to be as big as we believe that it will be, software will need to be the backbone of that entire industry. And Materialise products, Streamix and Magix, are extremely well placed to actually be the foundation of the software backbone of the industry.
You've been around since 1990, IPO'd about a year ago. Let's take a look at the one-year chart. And 3D stocks tend to trade in tandem with each other. The sector's been under pressure. Let's review 2014 results. There was a loss, but your revenue is growing consistently.
The revenue was growing consistently, and actually investors who know us were actually excited about the loss in Q4 because we raised more than $80 million in June of last year with the explicit purpose of putting that money to work and putting that money to work as quickly as possible to foster organic growth. Now, if you have to take that money from your balance sheet, you have to run it through your P&L to foster growth in the future, and if you run it through your P&L, you incur a loss.
Right. Well, I mean, eventually that's how you unlock shareholder value, by growing organically.
Exactly.
So for 2015, let's talk about some guidance. Do you still see some of those expenses filtering through?
As we have explained to the investors, the growth will be more than we had initially expected. On revenue side, we expect revenue between 99 and 101 million euros, which is great. On the EBITDA side, on the bottom side, we expect a 4 to 5% EBITDA margin, which is lower than last year, but which is basically an expression of our continued commitment to invest basically in sales and marketing and research and development.
So when do you expect to start turning over a profit?
Well, there will already be a small profit in 2015, but our long-term view for 16, 17, 18 is to start growing again from 4 to 5% in 2015, going up to double-digit numbers as early as 2017.
So Peter, let's talk about the industry overall and future growth. Do you still see the trajectory going there? Will 3D printing be adopted on a mass scale?
It definitely will, Jill. For many decades, for the last 2 decades, 3D printing has basically been used for rapid prototyping. What we're seeing now is that the industry is starting to embrace 3D printing as a means to produce end parts rather than prototypes. And that is a market that is many multiples higher than the rapid prototyping market. And that is a market that we see exploding in the coming few years.
Thanks very much, Peter. For TheStreet in New York, I'm Jill Malandrino.